Compare yourself to others for inspiration, not competition. It is easy to compare our work life, social media, and relationships with family and friends. You see another person doing more, looking better, having more followers, or enjoying life more than you. Ultimately, comparing ourselves to others saps us of our energy. We get so preoccupied with what others are experiencing that we fail to see what we are getting ourselves. Regrettably, we love to compare. We both like and dislike comparison. We compare constantly. It is how we identify ourselves. How can we determine our success without comparing ourselves to others? In short, we do not. That is the issue. Because our minds are designed to compare, it is hard to stop. Or is it? Welcome to Relentless Man. Why do we compare? Why it is good and bad for us, and how do we stop it? Keep watching, we have the answers. Hit the subscribe button, the like button, and the notification bell. Please share our channel and look out for our up-and-coming videos. But why do people engage in comparisons of themselves with others? In order to judge ourselves, we make comparisons to others. In the 1950s, the social comparison theory was created by social psychologist Leon Festinger. He discovered that self-evaluation is a fundamental human motivation. We compare ourselves to others because we cannot judge ourselves based on nothing. We want to know how our performances stack up against that of our peers. That includes your neighbors, employees, and even members of your own family. We attempt to build an idea of ourselves based on their perceptions of us. If there is no data to draw on, we will make a subjective view and presume that other individuals fall somewhere on our own scale. For instance, you may be evaluating your wealth. This is accomplished through observing your neighbors or friends. The fact that James next door drives a car from the 1980s leads you to believe that he is not wealthy. Greg, though, your other neighbor, drives a brand new Ferrari. You presume that Bob has substantial wealth. Perhaps these assumptions are accurate, but without examining their bank accounts, it is impossible to tell for sure. Then, using your James to Greg scale, you situate yourself someplace to evaluate your progress. You may respond, well, I have more money than James, but not as much as Greg. I am semi-successful. There are two kinds of comparability that all of us engage in, depending on how we feel. Festinger expanded the social comparison theory by proposing that there are two forms of comparison: upward comparison and downward comparison. When you compare yourself to someone you believe to be superior to you, you are engaging in upward comparison. Therefore, this may be your wealthy neighbor, a celebrity, or anybody you see as being superior to you. However, when we are feeling bad about ourselves and dissatisfied with how our lives are going, we often compare ourselves to others to feel better. When we choose to compare ourselves to someone we deem inferior, we are engaging in a downward comparison. Only upward comparisons make us feel inferior in our everyday lives. Is it detrimental to compare oneself with others? Constantly, we are warned that comparing ourselves to others is detrimental. But is this true? Yes and no. As it turns out, the answer to the question is not obvious. We are aware that comparing ourselves to others might make us feel horrible. Yet, where would we be without it? If you feel horrible because you have been comparing yourself to others, the consensus is that you should stop doing so. On the other hand, some people question if it is beneficial to compare oneself to others. Occasionally, yes, it is. Comparison encourages us to be competitive, which might enable us to improve ourselves. Additionally, comparison provides a benchmark for achievement. We know that if we want to succeed, we must outperform the group you think is failing. Comparison may teach us to be thankful. We feel good about ourselves when we compare ourselves to others in a disparaging way. We are pleased that we possess something that others lack. Even though it may seem counterintuitive, it makes sense to be thankful for others' misfortunes. The social media comparison trap. Social media is fun. It is a means to connect with people and to develop. It establishes an online community by bringing individuals together. However, many people forget that social media has a negative side as well. We reflect on our own life whenever we see someone laughing and carefree while scrolling. Even when we are in bed dressed in pajamas, they are right there with us. Chiseled bodies, a perfect family, perfect clothing, wonderful vacations, and a perfect life. It is not right. Why are we not like them? The solution, as it turns out, is pretty straightforward. They are not even like that. These are the best photographs that people have to offer. It would be nonsensical to compare one's worst to another one's finest. Having said that, we are aware of how challenging it is. While you are struggling to do all your work and all you can see are wonderful lifestyles, it makes you feel worse. Social media is not real life. Extremely unhappy people may hide behind smiles. So why compare? So how do we stop the negative side of comparing yourself to others? Relentless Man is here to show you how. Comparing oneself to others might potentially be harmful to your mental health. Not only can it damage your self-esteem, but it may also lead to anxiety, despair, and unneeded stress if left unchecked. So, how can you avoid comparing yourself to others to live a better life? Here are our tips for eliminating comparison. Be mindful. Typically, we may not even realize we are comparing ourselves to others. It is such frequent behavior that we engage in it without a second thought. The only way to stop comparing is to recognize that we are engaging in it. Make a note of every instance in which you see yourself comparing yourself to others. Initially, you will discover that you are comparing yourself to others more frequently than you realize. This is both good and bad. This is the first step that motivates you to discover a clearer explanation, even though it does not prevent comparisons. Quit comparing. It seems simple, right? What we mean by stop comparing is that you should attempt to stop comparing yourself once you realize you are doing so. Let us return to the neighbor who was wealthy and the one who was poor. The fact that your wealthy neighbor drives a Ferrari represents success in your perspective. You do not know him though. Maybe his family provided financial support. He might have not purchased the Ferrari. Alternatively, he may be struggling to keep up with the payments on said Ferrari, which is a major financial strain on him. Your poor neighbor saves every cent he earns. He does not care what car he drives because he is modest. This man could be investing all his money in stocks and becoming a billionaire in the process. The fact is, you have no idea what they are going through. You are not privy to the personal details of other people's lives. Your comparisons would alter drastically if you did so. Focus your attention on anything other than the comparison you are making. Recognize it and then move on without descending into the dark spiral of comparison. Express gratitude. When we compare ourselves to others, we often concentrate on what we lack. Frequently, we forget how blessed we actually are. Everyone experiences adversity, but everyone also encounters good fortune. Try utilizing a gratitude diary to direct your attention to the things for which you are thankful. When you list all of your possessions, your perspective shifts. It is an excellent method to develop mindfulness and recognize how fortunate you really are. Do not degrade people. It is not necessary to tear people down just because you are miserable. To make oneself appear better, we often degrade others when we engage in comparison. There is no rationale for this action. Instead of attempting to bring others down, accept that everyone has unique skills and flaws. While it may be simple for you to recognize theirs, it may be tough for them to see themselves. The reality is that we are much more critical of ourselves than others. We consider their shortcomings to be inconsequential, while we consider ours to be catastrophic. Your shortcomings are not greater than those of the person you are comparing yourself to. Everyone has shortcomings. Accept and enjoy your imperfections. If all people were flawless, the world would be one boring place. It is our flaws that make life worth living. Though we often see them as our weaknesses, they might also be our greatest assets. Because we feel inadequate, we engage in comparison. Our life is flawed because we do not have what others have. We are here to inform you that imperfection is a good thing. Utilize what you have. There are others that look to you and wish they had what you have. Others compare themselves to you in the same way that you compare yourself to others. The chances are you believe such people are wrong. Who would make comparisons to you? Many people actually. There will always be someone better than you and someone worse than you. Such is the way of life, and every one of us takes a unique path. Embrace yours. Do a social media detox. Even if you unfollow individuals on social media and make a concerted effort to avoid comparison, it may be difficult. Concentrate on your mental health and detox from social media. Spend some time away from your mobile device and really live. Once you stop observing picture-perfect squares, you understand that life is magnificent. People are just as attractive if you take the time to look up from your phone. Exercise self-love. Self-love is crucial. When one concentrates on oneself, one feels better. No matter how hectic your schedule is, you must be available to express your gratitude to your mind and your body. This may be whatever you desire. Go out for a dessert on your own. Go fishing. Read a book that you have been wanting to read, or take a mini vacation. Whatever you like, do it for yourself. Accept your journey. Life is not a direct path. There are heartaches, unanticipated pains, and a substantial amount of stress. If you want to succeed, act accordingly. However, you must embrace your trip as well. Recognize that your current position is okay. You do not know how the person you compare yourself to achieved success. Certainly, their journeys were accomplished by heartbreaks, regrets, and disappointments. Accept your status in life. If you cannot accept the situation, you should act. Be your own advocate. Everyone has an inner critic whose only purpose is to make them feel inadequate. It points out our weaknesses, offers us everything we ought to despise, and is jealous of great people we know. When that voice begins speaking, you should silence it. Say you are lying to that voice. You are outstanding. You deserve an exceptional existence. Furthermore, you deserve love. Make your own comparisons. Do you know with whom you should make comparisons? You. Comparison is inevitable. We may suppress it and try not to do it as often as we do now, but it will happen. Accept that you will compare yourself to others from time to time. However, the only person with whom you should compare is you. Consider the current state of your life and set objectives for improvement. Make a goal if you want to achieve success. If you want to lose weight, create a goal. Do you want to save money? Make a goal. You are the only one who can decide to alter your life. We are all in the pursuit of fulfillment. To transform, we must concentrate on ourselves. Choose to be happy to attain personal fulfillment. Consider your current self. Change it if you are unhappy. Then compare your new self to your former self. It is a terrific way to feel accomplished and acknowledge the incredible ways in which you have grown. There is a purpose for every imperfection and blemish. When you practice self-love and self-care and stop comparing yourself to others, you fortify your mind. You are gaining self-assurance, fostering a healthy sense of self-worth, and maturing into a distinct individual. We believe in you. Even though this will not happen quickly, you may have some difficulty with it, but you will prevail. When you go back and compare who you were to who you are now, you will be much happier. Thank you for watching Relentless Man. Hit the subscribe button, the like button, and the notification bell. Please share our channel and look out for our up-and-coming videos. Until next time.